Now we will have a look at the second case study, which is a step shaft, which is having a keyway at the end. So this is a step shaft and there is a keyway at the end. And the application is used in a rotating machine assembly for mounting a gear at the end. So the functional requirement is that it should be strong, it should be stiff to transmit the torque, and it should be resistant to fatigue loading. So that is a very important functional requirement. It should be resistant to fatigue loading, and the tolerance level required is very fine. That is the tolerance required on its outer surface, the runout, as well as its positional tolerance in terms of the keyway as well as the step. So it should be having a close tolerance in the range of something like plus or minus 0.1 or 0.2. So that tolerance is applied on the size of the part as well as the position location of the step as well as the keyway and all the other parameters. Since it is used in rotating machinery, any deviations in the runout will cause wobbling of the parts. So the shape over here is a simple cylindrical prismatic shape which is stepped and which is having a cutout in the form of a keyway. So that's the shape of the part. The first step would be material selection, and let's say that we have three candidates of materials, in this case plastic, steel, aluminum alloy. Of course there can be many others like many other non-ferrous alloys like zinc, tin, etc., but we are not considering that. Considering that aluminum alloy is the best amongst all and considering these three as the candidates for selection. So why will plastic not be a suitable selection in this case? The geometry can be manufactured in all of these three materials. It can be manufactured in plastic by machining, it can be manufactured in steel by machining, and also it can be manufactured in aluminum alloys by machining. So why is plastic an inferior choice over here? First of all, plastic has a lower modulus as compared to steel and aluminum, and also has lower strength, bending strength. And the fracture resistance of plastic is very low. So it is very susceptible to fracture or crack growth as compared to steel and aluminum. So that's why plastic is an inferior selection when it comes to material over here. And in between steel and aluminum, steel has better fracture resistance as compared to aluminum. So it is a better option. So if we are deciding the process for this kind of a part, let's say it's for a medium to high production rate, and the candidate processes up for selection are CNC machining, forging, die casting and sand casting. So by looking at the part, we can make out that the most apt process for this will be machining. Forging is not the apt process because after forging you again need to machine the parts, and similar is the case for the other two. So there is excessive processing cost involved with all the three. And CNC machining, since it's a simple part, so the number of machining operations required will be very low, and this can be done for a very low labor cost and low operating cost. So we don't need to put any major investment in the case of forging, die casting or sand casting. So we can do it with the normal machining itself. So what would be the process flow for such a part? So the process for a standard shaft would be the billet from the steel mill comes and the stock to be machined is cut. The stock is put on the machining machine tool and the operations are done. So these operations are generally turning, facing, parting, shaping, milling, etc. And then it goes for heat treatment. So if you want to have a superior fatigue resistance, a superior hardness and superior strength, then after that we can go for heat treatment, which will enhance the mechanical properties. And after that the finishing operation is done, which is nothing but grinding or polishing. Another important point is that there is no investment involved in machining. So if the machine tools are already available, if the CNC machine is available, let's say a 5-axis CNC machine, this kind of a part can be easily made in such a machine tool. So we don't need to purchase separate forging equipment or separate die casting equipment or dies for doing this kind of a part. So in terms of the various cutting operations or machining operations, it would be like this. So first stock goes in for turning, that is to turning to the diameter required, and then step turning, that is this step is made. Then facing to the length, make sure that this length is met, and then cutting the keyway, which is generally by a milling or a shaping operation. The sequence of operations may vary, but these are the operations which are to be done for creating this kind of a part. So you can see over here, it's very simple to machine this kind of a part. Instead of that, if we go for forging or casting, then it will be much more work which will be required and which is unnecessary.